Hey, what's up guys? Zero One, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about Dark Knight, the film. Directed by Christopher Nolan, starred Christian Bale, and, well, not just Christian Bale, but many others. There's a lot that I want to speak to you about this film, so I can't go too much into the long list of actors and actresses, and also writers, which is Christopher Nolan and his brother, and also as Goyer. So The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight deals with Christian Bale, aka Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, now facing insurmountable odds. He's not just facing the crime lords of Gotham City, but he's also facing his own, you can say, relationship with the woman that he loves, fading away, and he has to come to grips that him being Batman is not just having a physical and emotional effect on him, but is also destroying his future with the woman that he loves. We also see the Joker making his appearance, which is played by Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger delivered as a Joker. You were scared of him, you were frightened of him, you were just kind of like, he's the type of person that if you saw him walking in a subway train late at night, you would probably get off the subway train. You'll be like, you know what, I think I'll walk. I'll walk those, extra blocks just to get away from this guy. So he comes as a force that he just wants to see everything just go downhill. He just wants destruction. The Joker he himself is basically, you can say, possessed by Satan, man, because literally this guy just goes and he just wants to see people suffer. He wants to see things just go downhill. He just wants everything just to burn. Literally, it's a pretty scary character, but he, like I said, Heath Ledger delivered. I really love how Christopher Nolan brought the characters in the forefront, and he didn't focus so much on the action or on the explosions or Batman. He focused on what's happening in Gotham, the politics, the things of between the DEA, which is also dealing with Gordon, which at this time he's not a commissioner at this point in the film, but he's getting to that point where he's going to be the future commissioner of Gordon, as we know him from the comics. So we have that dynamic going on. We also have the dynamic between, the love interest of Bruce Wayne, Rachel, and who is played by Mrs. Gyllenhaal, aka Jake Gyllenhaal's sister, and she's basically going out, or if not, have this relationship with the head DEA guy, which is aka Two-Face, or about to be Two-Face, or is going to be Two-Face. But you see that whole dynamics, and it's about the story. It deals with the relationships that each and every one of them have with one another, and them trying to fix Gotham, them trying to keep the streets safe. And Christopher Nolan did an amazing job in that sense, directing those scenes between Commissioner Gordon and the Batman, or if not the DA, or with Rachel and Bruce Wayne. He did a real good job in that department, where you were invested in the characters, you were invested in their lives. So that was awesome. I think another thing that I really loved about The Dark Knight was just the cinematography. The cinematography was beautiful. I was just blown away. When Batman comes out, when he's on top of the skyscrapers, you just like, man, awesome. It had this bluish type of tint on it, and it just looked very grandeur. It brought the audience back to, okay, this is a Batman movie. This is happening for real. This is not just about relationships, but it's also about Batman trying to clean up the streets. So it was awesome. See more of Mr. Fox, which is also the president of Wayne's enterprise, and who's played by Morgan Freeman. He did a good job in that, and we see him, trying to help Bruce Wayne in the business side. But also at the same time, you see him really care about Bruce Wayne, and I really loved about that too. That Lucius Fox was not just an inventor, but he also really had that kind of fatherly or mentor kind of. He had that that uncle feeling. You know, he came across like a family member that really cared about Bruce Wayne, because as we all know, Bruce Wayne lost his parents at a very young age. So basically, his family is, you know, Alfred, you know, Rachel, and Fox. You know, another thing I could say about the film was it lacked in the action part. I felt like the fight scenes were just they didn't feel like it did not feel like a Batman combat way. You know, there were scenes where guys were just falling down. There was like a guy in the corner, he just fell down, and he's facing Batman. And Batman, it just, you know, it just didn't feel Batman brawl. It just felt like another brawl, like punch, punch, you know, flip them over, punch, punch. And that department, I would love Christopher Nolan to focus also in that department and bring it a little bit more up, because that's one of the complaints from the first Batman film. It didn't feel like, you know, an actual, you know, Batman type fighting style. You know, I just feel like this brawler, and he gets punched or he gets hit, and it just like he doesn't feel it, and like he just goes on still, and I'm just like, that's kind of like that's like a negative you can say. Another thing that I also I never got into was, you know, the voice of Batman. To me, it sounded more like a man becoming a bat creature or something, like, you know, where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? You know, tell me where they're at. And I wasn't buying into it, you know. I understand that Batman was trying to hide his identity. You know, Bruce Wayne doesn't want people to know it's him. But I think it would have been done in DR, which is basically, you know, the actor goes into a booth and he does his audio voice, and he kind of, you know, they could have changed it using computer or something, where it sounded a little bit more, you could say, natural, or a little not so over the top, like, you know, where's the bomb, you know. And I mean, I know. Look, Christian Bale delivered as Bruce Wayne. He delivered as Bruce Wayne. He did a phenomenal job. I bought him as Bruce Wayne. As Batman, I didn't buy him that much. Now, he had the physicality of you know, being being that suit, but he just didn't have the voice or the persona. That's the thing that I felt like it lacked in that department. There you go. And what else can I say? Oh, yes. The actor that played Commissioner Gordon. From all the trilogies, he is one of my favorite ones. Commissioner Gordon, I rooted for him because throughout all the trilogies, because he wasn't Batman. He was trying to do things by the law, by the book. And sometimes doing it that way, it's very frustrating, and you see that in him. You see the frustration. You see the way that, you know, bad guys are winning, and you're just trying to do the right thing. And I related with him, and I also related with Blake, which is in the next film, and I'll be speaking about that film later on. But yeah, and I love Commissioner Gordon. He is the type of person that I really was rooting for through the entire film. All three of them. I was like, yeah, Commissioner Gordon, because he's not just putting his life on the line, but he's putting his men's life on the line. And even that, the crazy thing is that a lot of his men, some of his men, are corrupt, and he doesn't know who to trust. And at the same time, he can't turn his corrupt officers in, because then he will have no officers, so then he won't be able to actually do his job. But at the same time, he also has to deal with the DA. He has to deal with the politics of the whole situation of Gotham, and how the mayor wants this to be implemented, and he's like, well, this is the thing, we're going. I mean, it's getting a little bit dicey out there, because people are dying right and left. So and that really brought it home. It brought reality to Batman, The Dark Knight, because this happens in real life. There's commissioners that they have to deal with this type of situation where it's like, it's a losing situation. There's no winning in sight. There is no winning in sight. You see your man being shot. You see criminals getting away with crime, and it just started boiling up. And he did an amazing job. He really did an amazing job. What can I say about Two-Face? Two-Face was Two-Face. The only thing that I didn't buy about Two-Face was this guy's been a lawyer for most of his life, and then out of nowhere he's going around killing and shooting people, and he's doing it in broad daylight, and nobody notices that it's, nobody notices. Like, you see in the film, it's broad daylight, he's there talking to criminals, and nobody actually calls it in and says, hey, we found the guy that we've been looking for all this time. We found Harvey Dent. No, he's like in this mobster car, and he's like, wow, you're lucky, but not him. None of the bodyguards of the mobster told him about that. Told him, hey, Harvey Dent's inside the car. He just happening to be there at the same time he gets there. That I didn't buy. Doesn't fit with the character of Harvey Dent, because he's been doing everything correctly by the book and doing it right, and next thing you know, he's gone crazy. He's like, oh yeah, I lost Rachel, so I'm gonna go blow everybody up or kill everybody up. Well, the same thing with Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne lost his parents, lost Rachel, and he doesn't go out there, he doesn't kill the Joker. That's the thing that really shocked me. I was like, what? And this is his love of his life, and he doesn't kill him? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. So that's one of the things that I just felt it didn't mesh. So another thing that I didn't buy is the Joker being as a sociopath killer. All his plans are being executed perfectly. The scene where he has Harvey Dent and Rachel, separate buildings, and they're about to be executed. He would have to plan that down to the T. Because he would have to plan to be captured. He would have to plan how long he'll be there. He would have to plan. I mean, it was just, when I would see stuff like that happen in the film, it took me out of it. And the reason why it took me out, it was just done too well. It was done too well. It felt too clean. And I was just like the Joker knows how to drive a big giant truck, a semi. And we never see him drive a semi, and out of nowhere he knows how to drive it, or he knows how to, do hand-to-hand combat with a detective or a law enforcement guy who knows how to do combat or how to do self-defense. I just didn't buy that. I really didn't. That's one of the things that took me out of The Dark Knight. The sociopath killer had a perfect plan from last year. And he's executing it correctly, perfectly. Everything's just being done the way he plans it to be done. And that's not how it is in the real world. So that really took me off. But other than that, the cinematography was great. The scenes between Bruce Wayne and Rachel, the scenes between Alfred and Bruce Wayne, they were done very well, extremely well. Christopher Nolan did an amazing job in that aspect of the film. But when it came down to the fight scenes, it came down to the Joker, his executing his plan perfectly, flawlessly. I just didn't buy that. I didn't buy how most of the criminals there in Gotham were gonna follow a crazy madman. I didn't buy that too. I didn't buy Harvey, going around, doing what he was doing as Two-Face. The story was very well done. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your time, and Jesus bless you, and later. See you then. Bye.